Cool. What I'd like to do for you tonight is maybe a couple card tricks if I have enough light in here to pull them off successfully. Card tricks are one of my favorite things to do, you know, just on the side instead of playing video games or whatever. But first what we'll do for this one is just pick a card, any card. Let's say we pick this one right here, which is the Ace of Hearts. Okay, cool. So we take the Ace of Hearts and we can put it in the middle of the deck and try and find it if we want to, but this isn't really that kind of trick. So what we'll do, we'll just stick it on the top here. Okay, now what I'd have the person do is just hold out their hand just like this, and then I take the card and put it into the hand and tell them, okay, now put your other hand on top of it and make a sandwich just like that. So no cards can get in, no cards can get out. Then what we'll do is we'll take a look at the top card here, which is the Joker. All right. Now the Joker is a good card to have on top, and I'll tell you why. Because Jokers are wild. And if you take the Joker and you rub it over the top of the Ace of Hearts just like this, okay, then all of a sudden the trick has been done, and now I have the Ace of Hearts here, and he has the Joker over in his hand. So they kind of swap places, even though the hands are sealed. So that's called the card in hand trick. That's one of my favorites. It usually gets a pretty good reaction. Now what I'll do is a different trick, and this is actually one. Some guy walked up to me on the street the other day, and he says, "I'd like to play a game with you with 3 playing cards," just like that. And I said, "All right. Well, what do we have to do?" He says, "Well, but first, before we get into what we have to do, let me show you what the cards are." So he flips over a top card. He says, "Look, first we have this card," and I said, "All right." He says, "Second, we have another of this card," and I said, "Okay, that's kind of weird, but all right." And he says, "And finally, we have that card. So we have this card, and that card. Remember that?" And I said, "I remember it. I got it. No problem." Now what do we got to do? He says, "Well, it's simple, really. All you need to do is just tell me where I put this card." And as he said it, he took it off the top and moved it down to the bottom of the pile. Now I saw him do it, so I said, "That's easy. It's on the bottom." He says, "No, look, because the card on the bottom is this card." And I said, "All right, well, if this card's on the bottom, then that card's on the top." He says, flips over the top card. He says, "No, look, the card on the top is also this card." And I said, "All right, well, if this card's on the bottom and this card's on the top, then that card must be in the middle." He says, "The card in the middle is also this card." So I said, "All right, well, I don't know, we're using 3 of that card?" He says, "No, look, because the card on the bottom is that card. That's the card you should have said." And I said, "Now wait a second. A minute ago I did say the bottom card. That was the first one I said. Only a minute ago, that card was this card." He says, "Yeah, so the card on the top was also this card a minute ago, and now it's that card." And I said, "All right. So you're using 2 of that card?" He says, "No, I'm using 3, because look, the card here in the middle is also that card." I said, "So you're using 3 of that card? I'm really confused. I don't know." He says, "No, look, pay attention. I only have 3 cards. I have this card, and I have this card, and I have this card. But that's it. Those are the only 3 cards that I've got." And I said, "All right, man, I don't know. You're cheating somehow." He says, "Well, yeah, of course I'm cheating. It's a card trick. But here's what I want you to remember." He says, "Sometimes in life you get a little bit of this, and sometimes you get a little bit of that. But it's not often you get something other." And that's my this, that, and the other card trick.